Today we are going to talk about inventions and discoveries. We are going to discuss about how different has life been from the ancient past to modern era. So, Elizabeth, what do you think about the pictures that we have in here? For example, we are talking about this picture. Could you
Yes,
describe
of
it?
course.
Could you
Yes,
describe it? Yes.
yes. I think in the past, they invent the fire and they invent let me let invent the hunt to animals to eat. They they cut and then separate the meat and the pelo and the heart,
Uh,
and they they recollect some vegetables or fruits for to have food, and maybe they they cook in a fire, and when they have coal, they make a fire, and um, they wear a little clothes, and they walk a lot of distance for recollect for hunt animals and recollected vegetables, and maybe we are going to walk a lot of distance to bring water, maybe in a river, and they use the stones like a tool. And what else? What else? And the women stay in the house only, take care their children, and clean the house maybe. And the men's, we are going to go to work in hunt animals, and that's all.
that's it. Thank you very much. Yes, you're right. They had to go to take some water from the rivers, and well, they used fire to cook, maybe to cook some of their foods or to be warm. I don't know if it is very cold over there. It may have been so cold. All right, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Ana Maria, what do you think about it? Please, could you help us also describing the pictures?
Mhm. Um, in the past, the woman and men's are only taparrabos.
Yeah, well, they wear primitive clothes, maybe.
Okay, primitive clothes. Um, they are elementary herramientas,
Tools.
tools. They find animals for your eating.
Huh? Yeah, they found some animals to eat.
Find vegetables and raíces,
Roots, yes.
roots. Find they are living in cavernas, cuevas.
Eh,
Um, and they produce uh, fire with stocks,
uh,
rocks,
with
rocks,
rocks, with some
rock,
stones.
stands. Um, uh, that's it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Yes, you're right. So it was, well, I consider that it was so difficult. But I don't know. Look at this. In this image, in this other, well, it is not something real, of course. It was a movie picture. It was a very funny movie picture. The name of this movie picture was The Caveman, and the starring of this movie picture was Ringo Starr. Here you are. Can you recognize Ringo Starr? Ringo Starr was the drummer of a very famous band called the Beatles. Here you are. Okay, he is this person. So it was a comic movie, but anyway, it was a very nice one. All right, so look at this. As far as we can see, here we have some differences on how people used to go shopping like this, and now we go shopping like this. So, do you like to go shopping? Ana Maria,
Yes, I
what do you
like.
think? Yes, do you?
Yes, yes, I do.
Right. How often do you go shopping?
Um, I go to the shopping one month,
Once a month?
once a month.
That's great. And where do you prefer to go shopping?
I prefer shopping shoes.
Hey, that's good. That's beautiful. And where do you buy your shoes? Do you buy your shoes in a mall, in a shoe store?
Um, in shoe store.
Hey, that's great. That's pretty good. All right. So, what about you, Elizabeth? How
Okay,
often do you go
I
shopping?
go shopping 4 times a year. I go shopping to the clothes, to the shoes, and cosmetics for makeup. Only 4 times a year, but it's difficult. It's difficult go shopping always, but I don't have money.
That's it. Yes. Yes, that's, I guess
um,
that it is the
and I go
principle.
shopping for my child, for my husband, and for me. And we are going to join money, and then we are going to go shopping only 4 times a year.
That's it. Hey, that's pretty good. All right. And where do you prefer to go shopping? Do you go shopping in a mall or in a separated shoe stores, clothes stores?
I prefer go shopping in a mall because there are a variety of the clothes, of the shoes, of cosmetics.
Aha, it is easier.
Yes, it's more easier.
Hey, that's great.
No, it's easier. Sorry, it's easier.
Aha, it's easier. Pretty good. All right. And so please tell me, uh, What do you think about the difference between the past and the present? In the present, we used to do shopping so easily. We go shopping, we pay, and that's it. But in the ancient past, there were no stores, so people tried to look for their things, and they were, I don't know, what do you think about this way of going shopping?
Maybe in the ancient, don't go shopping. Maybe you have animals for you have your for they have your primitive clothes. When they have an animal, they are going to divide the animal in maybe the hair for the primitive cloth and the meat for to eat.
Hey, that's it. Yes, you're right. And as you said, they didn't go shopping. They hunted animals for having food and some other supplies. Very good. So, Ana Maria, what do you think about this?
Okay. In the past, I think don't going to shopping, but they are trueque.
Mm-hmm.
For suplir necesidades.
Aha, for solving necessities.
For, excuse me, for
For solving
solving
solving necessities.
necessities. Okay. They change later the animals
Aha.
for fruits, for roads, for beef,
Mm-hmm, that's
whatever.
it. Yes, that's it. You're right. So there was an interchange of merchandises.
Mm-hmm.
They found something and they give them in exchange. Hey, that was very interesting. And you know what? Still nowadays, in some places in the province in Mexico, we have that kind of interchanging. People, instead of giving money, they give some other goods, for example, clothes, food, or maybe some kitchen kitchen things. No, for example, spoons, forks, knives. So, well, I guess that at least in Guerrero there are some places where they do this, and well, it is something so nice, so traditional still the moment. Of course, they are not doing this because of fashion. They do that because it is their use. It is a custom they have. Okay, so you mentioned something so interesting, Ana Maria. You said that they discovered some things and they did many things for solving their necessities. So maybe some of the inventions that there have been in the human history are being because of solving some necessities. Don't you think so? Hello.
Hello.
Aquí estoy.
Yes, they tried to cover some necessities, to solve some problems, so they made inventions. And so here we go. Give me a moment. All right, here we are. In this in these photographs, we can see some inventions and some discoveries. They have been so important in the history of mankind. In your opinion, what are the most important inventions? For example, here, as far as you can see, we have this thing. Is this an invention or a discovery?
Okay.
Maybe discovering
Hmm? Okay.
the fire when you throw maybe stones or you put some wood with cerillo. How do you say cerillo?
Cerillos, matches.
And matches. We are going to make fire. Maybe it's a discover.
Aha. What do you think about that, Ana Maria? Is that an invention or a discovery?
Is discovery.
Yes. Yes, that's it. Pretty good. Yes, fire was a discovery. The invention was the way of producing fire. So good. Thank you. All right. So, do you consider that fire was important? Was it an important discovery?
Yes, it's very important. But with this fire, they cook, they raise the cold, and they make a light in the night, and they far away the animals.
That's it. Yes, yes, you're right. It was used also to make animals to be apart.
Yes.
Yay, that's so interesting. All right, pretty good. And so look at this. Here we have another. Is this a discovery or an invention?
Maybe discovering this is a wheel.
A wheel, yes.
A wheel. Maybe discovering the wheel, but you put maybe in the carretas. How do you say carretas?
In the carts.
In the carts. Maybe
Carts,
you.
yes. It may be. All right, thank you. Ana Maria, what do you think about that?
The wild is a discovery. Is important because with 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 they using for transportation and dieron otro uso.
They
They
had a
have
different use.
the use.
They
For
had
example, they have
a different use.
a different use. For example, translated water.
To transport water.
Transport water and others materiales. For triturar semillas.
To grind seeds.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you very much. Hey, you know what? It is very interesting. So, look at this. Here we have another invention. I guess that this is an invention. This is the first bicycle. That's exciting. Do you consider that to invent the bicycle was important for people?
Yes, the bicycle was very important, but with the bicycle, develop abilities and coordination, and was using like transportation, and what else? And they arrive more fast to their jobs, or their their activities that they realize.
Hey, that's pretty good. Thank you very much. Excellent. Yes, I guess that the bicycle was the first individual mean of transportation. So yes, it was pretty important for mankind, for humans to have invented this mean of transportation. Excellent. Well, what about this other invention? Ana Maria, what do you think about this invention?
Is foco. How do you say foco?
Light bulb.
Light.
Light
Okay.
bulb, yes.
Light
Light
bulb.
bulb.
Uh-huh.
Light bulb is a very important discovery.
Do you think it
Invented
is
by.
is it a discovery or is it an invention?
I
It's
think it's
an
an
invention.
That's it. It's an invention. So,
by Thomas Alva Edison.
well, some people used to say that Thomas Alva Edison was not the person who invented the light bulb. They say that the inventor was Nikola Tesla. So, you know what? It is a story. It is a story that says that in Thomas Alva Edison was a teacher at the university. He was an inventor. But in his class, there was a boy called Nikola Tesla. And he was so brilliant. He was so intelligent. And he was the assistant of Thomas Alva Edison. But it happened that Thomas Alva Edison realized that Tesla was inventing wonderful things. So what he did was to appropriate from the inventions of his student, Nikola Tesla, and he registered the light bulb as his own invention. I don't know if it is true, but if it is correct, it was bad. I think it was a bad action. It was a plagiarism. But who knows? That was something that I read in an article, but I'm not sure. I couldn't say it for sure. Okay, so do you consider that the invention of the light bulb was important for humankind?
Yes, this event is very important, but nowadays I need about the light bulb for do homework, do the for prepare the meat, for take a shower, for all the things that we are going to realize we are going to need the light bulb in the night. Maybe in the morning, maybe in the afternoon I don't need, but it's indispensable the electricity. But when we are going to use the blender, we are going to use the electricity. When we are going to connect in the internet, we are going to plug in the computer. When we are going to listen the stereo, we are going to plug in the electricity. I considering is very important the electricity and the bulb and the light bulb.
That's it. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Ana Maria, what do you think about the light bulb?
Mhm. I think is an inventor very important. The the light bulb is variety use. For example, um, for illumination in the streets,
Mm-hmm.
and um, uh, for using the different electrodomestics in my house. Um, for the cars,
Mm-hmm.
industry automotive. Um, in the industries, different heroes.
Different ways of working.
Ways. Okay. For mm, 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 uh, for help in the streets, in traffic lights.
That's it, yes.
That's it.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, it is so important for many different things. All right, pretty good. So look at this. Here we have another important invention. What is it?
Reloj solar.
That's it. It is a sun clock. Do
Sun
you yeah, do you consider that it is important, that invention?
It's important in the past because why? Because in this time, uh, don't other forma manera,
Other ways.
other ways to know the time.
That's it. So I guess that this was the first clock ever after. And so, well, nowadays it has had an evolution. Of course, we don't use the sun anymore for measuring time. But I don't know, maybe we continue a little using the sun because, for example, when I wake up in the morning and I don't consult very immediately the clock, I see if there is sun or there isn't. If there isn't sun, it is really early. If there is sunlight, it means that it is late. So I have to wake up so in a rush, take a bath and go running. Of course, I consult my clock, maybe my cell phone or maybe the computer, and I see that what time is exactly. But yes, it was the first time, the first way to measure time. Okay, pretty good. And so, what about this other invention? Let me use the arrow. Here it is, the WC. What do you think about it?
The WC is very important, but we is necessary for all the family, for all the people, and for avoid bad smells, bad olores,
For avoiding bad smells.
avoiding bad smells. But they in the ancients didn't have this, and they use latrines,
Letrinas, yes.
latrines. So, I don't know how do you say.
Well, I don't know either. Let me check, and I will tell you in a few moments. So,
Okay, or maybe. Uh-huh.
they used to use that kind of places. But you know what? I remember that I have some Chinese friends, and they say that they don't use any WC, so they have a hole in the um,
Yes.
in the
Or
floor.
maybe you run back to the hill and you and you do it your necessities.
That's something like that. All right. Yes. Well, Chinese people say that they don't use that kind of things. They just have a hole uh, in the floor, and they have the pipes for the drenaje, and so that's
Ah,
their bathroom. But in China, many people don't use the WC. Well, that's what I know, but I am not sure.
no, but nowadays is very, very important WC. But I avoid bad smells, and the houses is clean, but exists this WC.
That's it. All right. So
Thank you,
latrines.
latrines.
Aha, that was the word. All right, yes, the WC turned into a very important invention in the history of mankind. All right,
Yes,
so let's see some other inventions. Here we go. Ta-da! Here we are. So, do you consider that the washing machine and the dishwasher have contributed to make life easier?
yes, of course, but it's very difficult and hard. We are going to wash the clothes in the sink. Maybe you have a package. Maybe it's very tight. And with machine is more easy. We are going to do other things, but the washing machine is wash, and
Yes,
we are
that's
going to do the cook. We are going to clean the house. We are going to play with your child and realize other things.
to do different things. Yes, you're right. You know what? I remember that time ago. Well, I talked to my grandma, and I remember that she told me about how difficult it was to have a family in the past because women were all of the time cleaning their houses, raising their babies, and so it was the only one activity they could do, not to study, not to work, because they were taking care of a family. So it was
For
extremely
example,
difficult. Yes.
my grandmother in the town in many years ago, uh, she was in the river,
The
and
river,
they
yes.
walk a lot of distance. He she 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 can bring their boats with the clothes, and then we are going to go back to the house with these boats of the clothes. But she was in the river, and it's
Uh,
very difficult, and it's very tired.
so tiring. I consider that it has been difficult for these women to be washing in the rivers, and it was also dangerous.
Yes, of course.
So
But when she was washing her clothes, maybe the house is near to the river and is pure, but maybe cornear. I don't know how do you say
to
cornear.
horn, and not only the
To
cows.
horn.
Yeah, not only the cows in the river, but also, the water in the river was also with some flow.
Ah,
So, what would it happen if they fell down into the river? So it
yes,
was also a risk. Or their children, they were playing around them, and they were maybe playing in the river, and they were in danger of fell down.
yes, it's very dangerous.
That's it. Well, okay, and so, Ana Maria, do you consider that these inventions and these discoveries have contributed to make life easier?
Yes, today the inventions is very important for is very
It's
uh,
easier.
easier in my case, my life. For example, I lived in Monterrey. Um, in one time for 3 weeks every day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, uh, was raining. I cannot washing my clothes and my family. I washing my clothes in my washing. I don't secadora.
Not
No
a
ten,
clothes dryer.
don't clothes dryer. In this moment was necessary for for my have clothes limpio, limpio. My clothes clean. For that is very important the inventions, the machines, different machines.
That's it. So, as we said before, all of the invention were the answer for the necessities that people had. So, yes, it was. And what do you think about the washing, the uh, dishes, the dishwasher?
Mm, for me, no is important because my family is small, and no creo necessary.
Uh-huh.
I have matching dishes.
You don't think it's necessary. All right, pretty good. You know what? Time ago, when I was a little girl, my father bought a dishwasher, but in that time, oh my, it was a real problem to use it, because you are supposed, first of all, to clean the dishes and to take out all of the trash that the dishes have, all of the leftovers of food. So later on, you have to put the dishes in the dishwasher in order. Later on, you have to connect the dishwasher to the electricity so that you can have hot water for washing the dishes. You need also some special soap, and it is very expensive. And later on, you have to turn the machine on so that it can start washing the dishes. And whenever it finishes, you have to wait for maybe half an hour because the dishes are hot. Whenever you open the machine, then you have to clean the dishes with a mop so that they can be brilliant because as they were with hot water, they are opacious. And so for me and for my mother in that time, it was a lot of work. So it was even more difficult than washing them by hand. So my mother very soon said to my father, you know what? I don't need that. So please sell it, or I don't know what you are going to do with that apparatus, but I don't want it. So take it out of here. And so my father was very angry because it was a very expensive appliance. But anyway, it was not useful. And so my father sold it because my mother didn't consider that it was necessary and it was not user friendly. And I agreed. Whenever my father took the dishwasher out of the house, I was very happy because yes, it was not useful. And so, what do you think about it, Ana Maria?
Mm, um, this the dishwasher is very expensive, and use mucha agua,
A lot of water.
lot of water,
Mm-hmm.
and lot of jabón, soap,
Mm-hmm. So,
and electrician. Is invention for easier life the woman's, but is cheaper and luxury that is in this moment no don't available. um, is is an invention, electrodomestic beautiful, but I don't buy boy.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. It is not practical. As you said, it is very beautiful, but it's not practical.
Mhm.
So it is not user friendly. All right, pretty good. And so, do you consider that the inventors, the scientifics, should invent anything special?
Mm, for example, a computer.
Mm-hmm. It could be, for example, what would you suggest for an invention?
Excuse me.
What would you suggest as an invention? If,
Mm,
if they asked you for an opinion, what would you say to invent?
Elizabeth, help me, please.
A ver, let me think. I invent more useful. A ver. I think I invent what is the I what invent a ver maybe the electric sweet no electric how do you say escoba
Brooms.
electric broom because more easy to and yes electric no but there is the aspirator
The vacuum cleaner.
the vacuum cleaner no it's not a good invention um, I exist and let me see maybe a computer but only we are going to speak and they write
There is
you
Mhm.
yes only you speak and they write all that you tell and you didn't write it's more easy for the job and for you finish the activities
well, in fact,
maybe
yes. But you know what? The computers nowadays have that system. It is in accessibilidad. You can ask for voice recognition, so you can be speaking, and the computer is writing everything you say.
oh
So if you look into your computer, go to accesibilidad, and then you will find it.
oh thank you can I check at this part but I don't know
Oh, yeah, there are. You know what? I consider that it is very difficult to think what to invent because nowadays there are many things, there are lots of things.
yes there are a lot of things and help us in our life
Yeah, for example, that invention. Nowadays, well, for example, in my computer, I have an assistant. Her name is Cortana. And so I turn on the Cortana system and I say, Cortana, I need a restaurant. And then she goes to the server and so fast she says, Maggie, the nearest restaurant is 5 kilometers. You have to go with your car. Oh my.
oh it's a good appliance it's a good application this one
Yeah, that's it. And I
it's more
say,
easy to use
ah, yeah, and it has a name. She's my secretary.
yes of course
Or
and
sometimes
you didn't pay
I didn't pay for a secretary.
for
Or
your job.
or sometimes I say, Cortana, please remind me my class. And 5 minutes before 7, she says, Maggie, don't forget that you have a class. Oh
Oh, it's
my.
very interesting this application.
That's so beautiful. I love my Cortana. Cortana is my secretary. She's in the computer. But I
Mhm.
guess that many computers with Windows 10 has that Cortana.
Oh no, I have Windows 7.
But you know what? Windows 7 is very useful and it's very user friendly. Windows 10 has some problems. And for example, about configuration, I have had lots of problems with my computer. So sometimes Windows 7 is good. It's much better.
Okay. I
All
try
right.
to I try to look for and check it this.
Check the accessibilidad into your computer and you will see.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
thanks to you. All right. So I don't know if you have any other question or if you want to say anything.
Mm, Maggie, excuse me.
Yes.
Is possible to know the topic the next class?
Oh, yes. You know what? I am going to send you with the scores in the middle of the week. I am going to send you the topic that we are going to be working with about the conversation class so that you can have some information in advance and you can be looking for vocabulary and things like those. Okay.
Pero for example, today the topic about the inventor and discovery, the next class, ¿cuál sería?
Next class we are going to talk about love.
Amor. Love?
We are going to talk about love.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so
thank you.
we are going to talk about the scientific facts about love.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attendance, for your attention, and for your participation. And I hope that you have a very beautiful evening. Good night.
Good night,
teacher.
Maggie.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank
See
you
you
very
later.
much. See you later.
Take care.
Bye.